So hopefully my connection's a little better. Sorry about that earlier. I want people to start rethinking detox. We spent decades chasing and in many cases successfully detoxifying people from heavy metals as one pathway. Another pathway is the plasticides or xenotoxins, from plastics, phthalates, PFASs. Although they are harder, it has been, of course, one of our goals to eliminate those from us and continue to manage this through our various detoxification pathways. However, there's an additional piece of the puzzle that very few people think about, and certainly very few people are tackling with a natural approach, which is by far the best approach, by the way. And that is this idea of the gut-liver axis. And I want you to think of the liver as it is the main workhorse when it comes to purification of your body. It is the water treatment plant, the sewer treatment plant, the detoxification plant. It's always working, and it's one of the most dynamic tissues because it regenerates quite readily because of all the inborn errors that can occur from detoxification in the liver. It has an amazing ability to regenerate. Because the liver is so important in this pathway, we need to focus on understanding what we call the gut-liver axis. Now, why is this so important, and why does it sometimes create an outcome that we want? When we detox heavy metals or xenotoxins, oftentimes they just reoccur. They get back into our food system, our water system, which means they get back into our body on a daily basis, which means you're in this vicious cycle of cleansing constantly. And if you're particularly sensitive, or if you have genetics that don't allow that to work properly, you're going to always be in this state of feeling better and then feeling worse, and then feeling better and then feeling worse. And it really is an ongoing challenge because we're so exposed to these things. But even more importantly, in most cases, we have what we call the microbiome that dictates so much of what is being delivered to the bloodstream and having to be processed via the portal vein and the liver to get rid of. And that is the microbes that live inside your gut. Because of that, they can be, essentially think of the microbiome as a healthy one is delivering thousands of compounds a day into your bloodstream to perform work for you, to help you turn on and off genes, to help you metabolize, to help your hormones balance, to help your membranes heal, and so on and so forth. However, if you have a microbiome that is loaded with organisms that are toxic, and we know what many of those are now, you're going to be delivering things like TMAO, trimethylene oxide, when you're eating a lot of fats and meats. Oftentimes, people feel better, but then they don't after a while. And we've seen people abandon that because it gets overwhelming to the liver, which of course affects the body, immune system, etc. There are many compounds that these bugs produce. And so if you have the wrong organisms in your gut, you literally have a toxic generating community. It's going to be shoving more toxins into your bloodstream than what you get exposed to environmentally on a daily basis. 24 hours a day, you will be receiving these toxic compounds. They break down bile acids into toxins. They break down foods into toxins. And these things can wreck a system even while you're attempting to do a heavy metal or a xenotoxin style detox program. So I want everybody to remember that in order to really turn this ship around when it comes to detoxification, we need to pay particular attention to what resides in our gut and what we're feeding them and what they're doing. Because if we do not, then anything else we're doing is going to be an ongoing challenge if we can't correct one of the largest manufacturers of toxins in your particular world, and that is going to be your microbiome. They do it on your skin, which creates inflammation. They do it in your ears, your eyes, your nose. If we don't correct these things, especially in the liver, then your liver's working overtime and it never gets a break. We can give it breaks through our diet and through other detox protocols, but when your gut is producing toxins consistently, then there's never a break. And at some point in time, whether or not you're feeling good today and you're waiting for that ball to drop in a week, the gut is central to that feeling and that process. So the microbiome has more potential to to bring help and more potential to help you detoxify. And for another time, I'll go into the idea that the right microbes not only deliver the right things to your liver and to the rest of your tissues, but the right microbes also detoxify things trying to enter your body. There are more and more microbes that bind heavy metals. There are more and more microbes that we know that help eliminate toxins that we ingest or that we're exposed to. And they're not only there to do that, but they're preventative as well as nutritive, among all the other things that you may have heard me talk about. But as a true detox, or a real detox that makes a difference for the long term, the gut-liver axis has to be a consideration in your thinking and your knowledge, and as you educate yourself. We need to tackle that piece, because we know from many studies, and even as we do our own studies internally, we're seeing really dysfunctional guts, and these guts have such a high potential to produce toxins every day and prevent you from eliminating toxins through the bile, through the waste streams. It's a key piece that we need to teach more on and we need to learn more about. Thanks, and click below and learn more. Appreciate it.